This is I, the Bed King, and I got with me
Your Royal Jester.
the one and only. So, today we actually watched Jojo Rabbit, and this is the first time Sam has seen it. I held back so freaking bad with the hype for this movie. I told him that it was okay. It's a good movie. Like yeah, Hitler's in it. Like yeah, it's about a little kid like having an imaginary friend of Hitler. Like it's a comedy. It's good.
That's all he told me. And that movie was amazing. It had everything. Oh my gosh! It made you laugh. It made you.
Well,
cry.
I also told him that it's an emotional roller coaster.
Yeah.
I also told him in the beginning. I told him it's an emotional roller coaster.
Right.
But I said, but it's good.
That movie.
So that got him to be like, okay, so what am I getting into? And then
it was a movie that was kind of on my list, like my personal list, and like I had seen the commercials and I was like, this looks interesting. Like
that's what he told me too.
Best friend, or like imaginary friend is Hitler. That's funny. Like that's weird, but I didn't think much of it, and I was gonna watch it eventually, and then we watched it, and I was just like, wow, like it subverted my expectations. Like,
yeah,
that movie is really good.
Oh man, like I held back so many fucking tears because just of the fact that what was about to happen and everything. I was just like, oh man. Like, Sam knows I am very emotional.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. This guy, he's a crier during movies.
I know you guys haven't seen it yet. Oh man, but you guys will once we actually have the resources and everything like that.
The movie takes place occupied Nazi Germany, and the main character is this kid, Johann, aka Jojo. And he just wants to be the perfect patriotic Nazi that he can
perfect
be.
Nazi that he can. Yeah.
And he goes into like Nazi training camp for kids, and they're teaching him like about using your knife and about Jews. And he ends up I'm not gonna spoil too much, but he ends up getting blown up by a grenade. He survives, but he has like this really bad, nasty scarring on his body, and that eventually, because of that, he has to stay home and go through these programs and stuff, and that leads him to finding out that there's actually a girl living in the walls of his house that his mother's been helping, and it goes on this journey of him like talking to her every day, and at first, like, you know, he's treating her terrible because she's the enemy, she's, you know, Jewish, but he can't tell anybody else because then his mom will get in trouble, he'll get in trouble, and it'll just be bad for everybody involved. So they continue, and they end up becoming friends, and it's just a crazy ride. Like that whole movie, like the emotions, just the comedy is really good. It's freaking hilarious. As every time Hitler's on screen, something crazy is happening. Yeah, it's so dumb.
Like you're like,
and it's like this kid really believes
that Hitler is Hitler. That's what's funny. You're seeing, just like he said, you're seeing the eyes of a kid. You're seeing the world of the eyes of a kid, and that's why it seems so happy and joyful, and you see it so colorful. And I told Sam I'm gonna stay quiet because I want to put some symbolisms in things, because there's certain things that I want him to say all the symbolisms and everything like that he knows of, and I want to see if he missed some.
So after he has been talking to this girl for a while, he starts to question his mom, and he starts to kind of ask her things subtly and not trying to let her know that he knows. And
because he says that it's he thinks that it's his sister.
yeah, he's
It's the ghost of his sister.
and she's like, "Oh,
You're crazy.
Like, that was funny. Yeah, she was like, "Oh, you're crazy," and that sucks. But it sucks for me because I have to live with you because you're crazy.
Black Widow was great.
Yeah, in this role, she was amazing. Like, 10 out of 10 mom in movies for sure.
Dude, when she did the robot.
Yeah, when she was trying to sneak home and he caught her and she's like, and she was all about dancing, which was cool. Yeah, and they just had a lot of like fun, sweet moments together. Really made you feel the relationship. And then later on down the line, we see he's doing something completely different. Jojo is, and then he ends up seeing his mom on the street, and she's leaving these notes behind. And
well, he's collecting metal for Hitler.
oh, okay.
He's in a like a little uniform. That's it's a robot suit. He's in like a little red robot suit, and he's going around collecting metal for Hitler. And there's other kids as well, like young, just youngsters.
Just like him.
Just young people just going around collecting metal.
Metal for
Pots and
Hitler.
pans for
Metal
Hitler,
for Hitler.
like metal for Hitler, and all that stuff. And then next thing you know, just like you said,
he sees his mom on the street. He sees his mom on the street, and she's leaving a note. And pretty much what I got from it was that it was like a note for the resistance, because earlier in the movie
he says free Germany.
Free Germany.
When he looks at it,
okay.
He says.
So yeah, so it's a note for the resistance, and you can earlier in the movie you see that there were people who were hanged, and they have those notes like tied to their leg, and they're out in public for everybody to see. So it's telling you like, okay, his mom is part of the resistance, and she's about this when he wants to be a Nazi, and so their ideologies are conflicting, but you know they still love each other and everything. And he's like scared for her
because he thinks that she's being mind controlled.
Yeah, but because he believes that Jewish people have superpowers and
Yeah.
they can mind control you and do all these crazy things. And after that, he ends up going home. And the Gestapo end up showing up at his house. He's freaking out. He's scared because this girl that's been living in their walls, they become friends at this point. And when his mom's not home, she comes out and he's letting her walk around the house. He's even attempting to make dinner for her, you know, at this point, because their relationship has gotten good. It went from bad to worse than to good. They made up and they're enjoying each other's company now. And then the Gestapo shows up and they're searching the house, looking through everything. But it's played up for comedy, so they're like the nice Gestapo. They're stopping by just to say hello or hi Hitler, and they're just everybody in that scene a billion times.
And dude, it's just like freaking ridiculous.
Yeah,
it's
it's so dumb, but
it's like what the fuck.
They end up ransacking the house pretty much. And they end up going into the mother's room. And he notices...
You got this inside joke between him and I.
They end up going into the mother's room, and they find that he's asking him a bunch of questions, and he notices that his knife is missing. And he's like, "Oh, where's your knife? You know, you're dressed up in the perfect Nazi attire, but where's your knife? Like, what's going on?" And he can't come up with an answer. And he's and then the girl walks in.
And she acts
has the
like
knife.
her big sister as well.
Yep. And because they don't know her face, they've never seen her before, so she's like, okay, I can pull this off.
And she actually kind of looks like her. I'm not gonna lie.
She looks a lot like his sister that died.
Yeah.
And so, and she was her best friend, right?
Well,
Like
they weren't. She didn't say that they were best friends. They just said they were friends.
Right. I assume they're best friends because, like, you're just gonna take in this kid.
Well, like for all you know, there might have been other Jews.
That's true. Who knows? Maybe. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. And they probably thought that the Inga was a Jew as well, and they killed her in that process.
Maybe.
And then because there's this points in this movie where you see the mother and Elsma. I think that's her name, right? The actual girl's name.
The one that was in
the walls.
Elsa.
The mom and Elsa, they're talking. So I bet they've been talking for like a while.
Yeah.
So I bet there's some like horrific stories that like she's heard and things like that because I don't know if you guys know, World War II lasted for 6 years, 6.5 years actually. So just imagine living in a wall for 6 years. I don't know. Anyways, continue.
She ends up pretending to be his older sister, and the Gestapo is asking her questions while they're looking around, and they find this book that Jojo has been writing because he's been asking her questions about being a Jew and her superpowers and where her devil horns are and da-da-da-da-da. And the Gestapo guy, he's reading it and he's having a laugh. He's like, oh, hey guys, come on, check this book out. It's so funny, da-da-da-da. And he's like, everything is true in here. Like, this is great. And she's been writing in some things and he's been writing in some things. And
well, at this time when the guy that's inspecting, he's only Jojo is the only one that's been writing inside the book. And the only reason why we know that is because he's been drawing and killing Nathan. While he's reading the book, he's reading like all these different ways to kill Nathan. And just like burning him, running him over by a bike, and all this stuff.
Nathan being her husband that went to war.
Yeah, exactly. And but at the same time, he's writing letters and stuff like that for her. That's from Nathan. Yeah, I'll explain it a little bit later.
So he ends up asking her for her papers, and she gives him the papers of the real older sister that died, and Igna. And
I think it's Igna. If we're pronouncing it wrong, I'm sorry.
I'm just gonna leave out names, everything. Let them watch the movie. It's fine.
Dude, the sister.
The sister. So he ends up asking her for her papers, and she gives him the papers of the older sister that died. And he asks her, oh, what was the birthday? And she gives him May 1st, I think, which is the wrong day.
And it's supposed to be May 7th.
Yeah, it's supposed to be May 7th. And he's like, oh, okay, that's right.
26.
He's like,
I believe.
That's correct. And he hands it back to her. And they realize it after he leaves that the Gestapo guy was actually helping them. They start going back to normal a little bit. And then further down the line, this is when he's in the street, you know, he's going around looking for, I think he was like,
he's working.
Get food. Yeah, yeah.
No, he's working.
He was working. Okay.
Yeah. He's working. And then like he follows a blue butterfly, which he told me that a blue butterfly represents change.
Yeah, it symbolizes change.
And I told him that the butterfly represents love and the feeling. And this is the thing that he felt butterflies for the girl that he's taking care of. Because this actually shown within the movie. He skipped it, but he's feeling love.
Yeah.
for her. You know what I mean?
And
like,
it's even
and it's
something
like,
that his mom brought up in reference to as
yeah,
well.
like you're gonna fall in love with somebody, like, and you're gonna find somebody to fall in love with, and all that
once
stuff.
you do, you'll feel
Yeah,
butterflies in
like,
your stomach.
yeah, and it's gonna be sick. It's gonna be disgusting. That you're not gonna know what the hell is going on, and you're not gonna know what to do. But now he's just like looking at this butterfly, and he's like, yeah, I felt this, and it's a blue butterfly. And next thing you know, the blue butterfly like flies up, and he looks to his right,
and
right next to him, right next to him,
he sees
his mother's shoes.
So he turns to the right, and he sees his mother's shoes, and he looks up, and he sees her, and immediately it's just like heartbreaking. It's so sad. He's holding her. He doesn't know what to do, and he literally stays there almost all day,
Dude,
just staring.
and this is something that I'm gonna tell you. I believe the only reason why he stayed there is so he could tie his mama's shoes.
Yeah.
That's one of the things I'm gonna tell you right now, is that the only, like, he's watching and looking and trying to remember how to tie her shoes and tie shoes, and this is the reason how he learned how to tie shoes.
That's actually really interesting. That's really interesting.
Which is crazy. And like, I know it's bringing me a smile on my face because it's weird. It's weird. It's a really weird feeling. Like, it's heartbreaking, but at the same time it's like very beautiful.
Yeah, that's actually, that's really, really crazy, really good symbolism. And like, he goes home, and all these emotions are going through him because he knows the only reason that she died is because he was helping this girl. And so he goes home, and now that he has his knife back, he literally just walks up to her, and she's like, "What's going on? What's wrong?" Da, da, da. And he tries to stab her, but he can't.
He's not strong enough.
Yeah,
like
he's
weak, and at the same time he's crippled.
Yeah,
like he got blown up by a freaking grenade.
Yeah,
so he's like really like weak.
Yeah.
So, but he stabs her. It pierces her.
But
like
it's
there's
not enough to
but the point, no, it injures her.
No, I mean,
pierces.
It breaks the skin.
It injures her emotionally, because at the same time, dude, getting stabbed or even a paper cut fucking hurts.
Yeah.
Just getting ripped apart or your skin getting a cut freaking hurts, even if it's small. Like, no. And he's just shocked because at this point he's thinking like, everything what she said is true. We're stronger than you. You cannot hurt us. We like to taste the blood or like whatever. And like, you could think that, but he's just like broken, and
and he just
gives up, and he drops himself, and he's just like, just take me, just kill me.
Yeah.
And then and then at the same time she just, oh man, dude, the shot for that, because all you see is Jojo walking up to frame, and then he falls to his knees, and then you see her, and she's also broken because she knows what happened.
Yeah,
she knows.
She's figured it out.
She knows what happened. Because the only reason why he would do that was because his mama died.
Yep.
Because that's all he has.
Yeah.
And and like, even his mom, like, if you watch the movie, now we're getting into spoilers. If you watch the fucking movie, his mom tells him, "This is all I got, and this is all he got."
Yeah.
And if I have to choose you over him, I'm gonna choose him. And he chose his mom. That's why he fucking stabbed the shit. He tried to stab the shit out of her, but he wasn't able to. And so he gave up in life and just dropped to the floor. But she literally fell to the floor with him and felt the same thing, because she tried to also help, like, her.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh,
And
dude, that's so fucking emotional.
They end up talking like, what are we gonna do? Like, how's this gonna
And this
happen?
is what's beautiful though. They're talking about their future, and I know they're watching war, and they're watching explosions, but as I see it, as they're talking, they're watching fireworks.
Yeah. Yep.
I know it's
that's what I
yeah,
thought too.
yeah, dude, man, like, oh man,
And they talk about things about the war.
they even like lay their heads on each other, like
just showing that they're comforting each other. And,
yeah, like they're
they're
here,
in this together.
yeah, they're like
And then we see Jojo outside, and we're
trying to collect metal.
Yeah, trying to collect metal again, and then the war is literally on his doorstep.
All you hear is bullets and explosions from far.
And you see,
not like from afar, but like a mile away.
yeah, and you see the kids lining up, and they're handing out like weapons to them.
No, not yet. No, not yet. You have to give credit to young boy Harry Potter.
Who he's referring to is JoJo's second best friend.
Oh no, not right now. I bet he's his first best friend.
True. But throughout the movie, he's technically after Hitler. He's his second best friend, which is Yoki. I think is his
Yoki?
name. Yeah.
Oh
I think
man,
his name's Yoki.
dude, he's brilliant.
That kid.
Oh
is
man, the
hilarious.
line delivery.
Oh,
The
my
line
gosh.
delivery.
His acting is brilliant. It's amazing.
My God, and their hugs
Yeah.
when they gave each other.
Yeah, they're bros. They're homies.
They're like
Like-
dude, you can tell. You can tell they're ride for die.
Yep. Yep.
Like they don't care what they think. Like, oh yeah, you remember that Jew that I captured? Oh, she's basically my girlfriend. Like, oh yeah, girlfriend. Oh, dang, that's dope, JoJo. Like, I know I said it wrong, blah blah blah, blah, but
And like,
oh my God,
he ends up becoming his friend who's. Keep in mind, these kids are only like 10 years old.
He's 11.
He's 11. But he ends up becoming a soldier in the war because he stayed with the program. And so we see him coming out. He's like, oh.
I know we're laughing because it's funny in the movie.
ridiculous.
It's funny in the movie, but I bet. Oh my gosh, dude! Because like, when you see those shoes, it really brings you back to reality. Like that one scene when you see Jojo seeing his mother's shoes. Like, dude, it really brings you back to like reality, where like it's like, this is what this movie is.
Yep.
Like, yeah, it's funny, yeah, da da da, but this is what this movie is. Remember, this is what we're talking about.
Yeah.
And it's like, and it's, fuck, dude.
Yeah. And we see these kids being handed weapons, and they're getting sent to the front line. Go
give this American a hug.
Yeah, they strap a grenade
Oh
to
my
this
gosh,
kid.
Miss from freaking Pitch Perfect. Oh my gosh, dude. She's brilliant.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Hi, everybody, hi.
If you guys know
Oh my
Fat
God.
Amy from Pitch Perfect, she is in this movie.
Oh man, she's
Great.
perfect.
So she's handing them guns, and they get thrown out into battle, and JoJo's running around. He now has an officer's vest so that he doesn't get shot. And he's in this whole battle. Like, there's explosions, bullets flying, people are dying. And
He sees his homie. Someone. I don't know if you guys saw what's someone call it, the Green Mile. Have you seen the Green Mile? Right?
Yeah.
Do you know Wild Bill?
Yeah. That was him? Oh, wow.
The guy with the cape
Yeah.
with the music of distraction.
Yeah.
That's Wild Bill.
Wow.
He's a superhero.
He looks different.
He's a superhero.
Yeah, that was...
And like, you'll see we'll tell you why he's a superhero.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh, dude. Oh, it's so fun.
But yeah, during this battle, everything's going crazy, and in the end, Jojo ends up running and hiding because I also see it as
what?
I also see it as he's conflicted.
Oh, okay.
Because he
That's
doesn't.
something I was gonna say.
He doesn't know. Like, on the one hand, he kind of wants.
No. No. I don't think so. But continue.
I was gonna say because he kind of wants like. He doesn't want to fight the Americans, and he wants them to kind of win-ish, but he also wants to still help his country and be a patriot. But again, he can't kill, because he's
For me, he's just like everything's wrong. Everything that I knew was wrong. Like, she didn't even fight me with what I believed in. She still stayed with me by my side, and my ideology killed my mother.
Yeah, no, yeah.
And so he's like, "Fuck this shit. I don't know what to believe in. I'm confused. I'm scared."
And he ends up hiding, and when he comes out,
and then this one, I don't know if you noticed, he jumped into a hole. He's a rabbit.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I remember like tying your shoes.
Yeah.
Jumping into the hole.
Yeah. Okay. Interesting symbolisms.
Yeah, I'm telling you, dude. There's a lot. I can even tell you more, but I know we're running out of time.
But yeah, so he comes out. The war's over, and soldiers are being taken away to be executed. And this is where we see Wild Bill's character, and
from the Green Mile.
And
if you know what we're talking about.
He's Captain K in this movie. And Captain K, he looks at him, he's like, "Oh, I'm sorry about your mom. Like, I'm sorry everything happened, da 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 da." And tells him, like, "Go home, just go home, be safe, live your life." And he takes the soldier's jacket off of him and literally puts himself in harm's way.
He spits on him.
Away from me.
He pushes him.
And because of that, Jojo got to walk away. But
at the same time, like, he was like yelling, like, "No," because he was like, obvious fucking me, like, dude,
he knew it was gonna happen.
Yeah, because like,
what was gonna go down,
and then all he hears is his bullets in the background, and he just runs away. Yep. And then that's when he sees his best friend.
Yeah, and then he sees his best friend, finds out that he survived. He's got his whole outfit is destroyed and burned.
No, not anymore. He has a wife beater.
Yeah, that's what that wife beater's torn up, dude.
I know it is. Oh, dude, I know it is. I know it is. I thought you were talking about his suit. I'm that's like, God. Dude, dude. It's paper, remember? That thing was burned. Like, and he's like, "Oh my God, it's like I cannot die."
I love that kid.
Oh, dude, he's so freaking funny.
And so he ends up going home, and the girl asks him, "Oh, did we win?" And he tells her no, because he just wants a little bit more time
to be with her. Yeah.
And he doesn't want her to go, but in the end, he kind of does the right thing, and he writes her another letter from her husband Nathan and
fiance,
and he tells her like, "Oh, we have a plan, da da da, to get you out of here." Long story short,
he's dead.
Yeah, he's dead. Long story short, he ends up bringing her outside, telling her like, "I'm gonna help you escape from Germany." And when she goes outside, she finds everything's normal. There's no war, and she sees a bunch of like American soldiers driving by, waving the flag, and she realizes, oh, so the Americans did win. And she slaps Jojo because she's mad, but he's like, "I deserve that. Like, I'm sorry." and then they end up dancing together, and that's how the movie ends. And they pretty much kind of saying like everything's gonna be okay in a way. And yeah,
Yeah, it's a pretty crazy movie. Like I said, when I told him about it, I told him like we're gonna watch it. I told him like it's a good movie.
yeah, definitely streamlined and underplayed. This
Everything
great, and
it's a gorgeous.
there's a
freaking
lot
movie.
of subtext that I left out, so you just have to go watch the movie for yourself to get the whole story. Like I tried to give you just the bare minimum. It's a great movie. I loved it. I definitely recommend this movie. I don't know if you have any closing thoughts.
There's so many symbolisms in this freaking movie. Like from the beginning, after he failed to kill the rabbit and he was nicknamed Jojo Rabbit, there's a phrase that imaginary Hitler was saying that a rabbit is brave, courageous, and like all these like certain things. Okay? And when you see the very end of the movie, Jojo Rabbit obviously has been nicknamed Jojo Rabbit, and you see a picture of a kid, right, with a key and a rabbit in a cage. That means so much. Why? Because that could be him in a cage, and also Elsa. She's the rabbit. And the only time you see that picture was when the war was over.
Yeah. I also saw that too as like he's the only one that can free himself from that cage of his ideologies.
Exactly. And he also has the choice whether or not he can free her. So yeah, I thought exactly that you told me, you just said exactly what I was about to say. And also, throughout the whole entire movie, you hear his mother talk about his shoes. Tie your shoes, tie your shoes. Oh, let me see your shoes. You see shoes all the time. And the last time, well, the second to last time, you see shoes, is his mother being hung. Because after his mother being hung is Elsa. And she's also wearing his mother's attire. And his mother told him only free people dance. And Elsa said, what am I going to do the first time I'm free? Dance. And she's dressed as her mother. And they're dancing together. So, and it's like she's dancing with his mother again. This movie.
Amazing.
Brilliant. Peace.